Today we're going to learn about the law of cosines, and yesterday we learned about the law of sines. So if you remember yesterday, it was sine of an angle divided by the side across from it equals sine of another angle divided by the side across from it. So if I tried to set up the law of sines on this problem, I would get sine of x, because that's the angle I'm trying to find, over 8 equals sine, let's do angle A, over the side across from it is 6. So my problem with the law of sines on this problem is I have a variable x and a variable for angle A. I have too many variables. So I need at least an angle or two to use the law of sines. So I can't use that on this problem. And again, we use law of sines when we don't have a right triangle. So if I can't use the law of sines, I'm going to set up something known as the law of cosines. So we use this when we need an angle or side of a non-right triangle. And we tried the law of sines and it didn't work. So you use it when the law of sines doesn't work. Now, what is the law of cosines? Write it here in this box, but I'm going to write it a little bigger so you can see it over here on the right. So the law of cosines is c squared equals a squared plus b squared minus 2ab cosine of angle C. So a few things to notice about this equation. All these letters and numbers in the beginning, c squared, a squared, b squared, these are all talking about sides. The last letter, capital C, is talking about an angle. So it looks like the Pythagorean theorem because there's c squared, a squared, b squared, and then there's minus 2ab cos c. Now, when we had our Pythagorean theorem, the hypotenuse was always c squared. But since this is not a right triangle, c squared is not the hypotenuse. C is the side or angle pair that we're trying to find. So I think about it as the important side or angle. So if I'm trying to find angle C, the important side is the one across. So to fill this in, the important side squared, so 8 squared, equals, I'm actually going to do this in red, 8 squared, equals, and then I'm going to do the other two sides. A and B are just the other two sides, 6 and 3. So the order doesn't matter on here, but it's 3 squared plus 6 squared. I could also write 6 squared plus 3 squared. Minus 2 times those two sides again, so 3 and 6. Then cosine of the important angle. And this angle is important because it's the one we're trying to find. So cosine of that angle x. So that's how we set up the law of cosines. So it's for when we don't have a right triangle and we're trying to find a missing angle or side. And I always circle like, oh, that's the angle I'm trying to find, so that's the side I'm going to use, that's the important one. So you might see it written in other ways, because it's not always c squared. This one worked out where it's the c here. But if I was trying to find angle A, it would start with a squared equals c squared plus b squared. I just think important side, important angle, gotta finish this. So go to the inside right and we'll do a full example. On this question, it says determine the angle C to the nearest 10th. So it's basically the one I just set up on the front, but I'll just go through it one more time. So I need to find the important side squared and add with the cos of the angle that I'm trying to find. So the angle I'm trying to find is here. The side across from it's 8. So that's my important side. So it's 8 squared equals a squared and b squared are just the other two sides, 3 and 6. So 3 squared plus 6 squared minus 2, 3 times 6, then cosine C. Or cos x because that's the angle we're trying to find. You could also put a C there. But I'll leave it as X since that's what it says on the diagram. Now my next step is going to be to start simplifying these equations or these variables. So I want to think about order of operations with our GEMDAS, grouping symbols, exponents. So I see a lot of exponents here. So I'm just going to simplify. 8 squared is 64, 3 squared is 9, 6 squared is 36, not 26, minus 2 times 3 is 6, times 6 is 36, cos x. Now, a common mistake people make is they try to add 36 minus 36. We cannot do these because this 36 has a cos x attached to it, like a variable. So those are not like terms. That's like trying to add 36 minus 36x. I can't combine those because they're not like terms. So I get 64 equals, I could add 9 and 6 because they are like terms. That's 45 minus 36, and I still have that cosine x there. So I'm trying to isolate the x, so let's get rid of this 45. I'll just subtract it from both sides. We get 19 equals negative 36 cosine x. Now again, this is just 36 times a number. To get the cos x by itself, I got to do the inverse. So I'm going to divide by negative 36. So cos x equals 19 divided by negative 36. My last step, if I want to get the x by itself, to move a cosine over and solve for an angle, I got to use inverse cosine. So cos negative 1 of negative 19 over 36, or 19 over negative 36. But don't forget that negative, it's super important. Forgot the little one. So cos negative 1 of negative 19 over 36. We just got to type that in our calculator. And we get x equals 121.855. And this question said round to the nearest tenth. So x is equal to 121 point. Here's the tenths place, so look 1 to the right. 5 is bigger than, well, 5 means round up. So it's 121.9. And that's an angle, so it's degrees. So we figured out that angle. All right, so pause the video, try the next one on your own, and I'll show you the answer. So on this one, I want to set the law of cosines again. So my important side is x squared equals a squared plus b squared, so 9 squared plus 11 squared, minus 2, a and b are 9 and 11, cosine, and my important angle is this 28. That's the one they gave me. So I just got to simplify. 9 squared plus 11 squared, which is 81, plus 121 equals 202. 2 times 9 times 11, let me just simplify that now. 2 times 9 times 11, 198. So x squared equals 202 minus 198 cos 28. Well, if I just type this in my calculator, I'll get a number. 202 minus 198 times cos 28. It's 174.82362. Goes on for a while. I would go out very far. Don't round until the very end so you could have the most accurate answer possible. So I just got to subtract 202 minus this number. 202 minus 174 point whatever. So in my calculator, I just type that in. I get 27.17637. And that's x squared. So to get x, I just got to take the square root of both sides. And then I type in this square root of that answer. And we get 5.2 because it's said to the nearest tenth. So 1 decimal place. It's 5.21. So So it's 5.2. So honestly, I think it's easier to find a missing side than a missing angle. It was easier to simplify. Just make sure you're doing exponents and multiplying first, then combining those terms as we simplify.